Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Clams. I'm Will, and we are finally back here in Key West, Florida. I enjoyed my time up in New York, but I am very happy to be home here in Key West, back in the sun. One of the things, my first day back, I got that great message that I always want from Aaron, who's down here working on his boat. But they had a stellar day yesterday. They went out, they got yellowtail snapper, mutton, Ciro, everything. Let me show you the cooler real quick. Look at the size of these. If you're familiar with yellowtail snapper, you know those are giants, absolute giants. So, as usual, we're gonna take the heads and cook up something tasty at the house. So my idea with the heads from the yellowtail is to bake them off, pick the meat, and then sub the meat for crab in a crab cake. So it's gonna be fish cakes, but I'm gonna use all the ingredients that you would for a crab cake. So right now, Aaron is filleting everything up, and we're just taking the heads because these are giant yellowtail snapper, and we're gonna take a mutton head also. You got the whole crew here working with you.
Dude, look at them all. The circus.
Oh, tuna.
Now he wants to be friendly. Smells fresh fish.
All right, so first things first, if you're familiar with the channel, you know the drill. We're gonna roast off the heads in the oven at 350 for anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes. These yellowtail snapper heads are a little bit smaller than the usual grouper or mutton heads that I have, so only gonna be about 15 minutes tops. And then we're gonna pull the heads out, pick all the meat. So in they go. All right, we got all of our fish head meat picked. And for anyone that doesn't know, that is new to the channel right now, one of the things that I'd really like to do is collect the discarded scraps from fishermen and fishing boats and use those to make traditional meals, just to show you how much waste is actually made. So I do a lot of fish heads. So if you're new to subscribing to the channel, get used to it. All right, We got all of our fish head meat and fish collars picked, ready to go. And that's about how much I would get out of spider crab down here. So I'm pretty happy with that yield. Now, first thing we're gonna put in, a little bit of yellow mustard. Not too much because that can completely overtake the dish. A little bit of mayonnaise, that's to have just a little bit of richness to it. And we got some hot sauce, very important. A little bit of Worcestershire. Some black pepper. Some garlic salt. Some Old Bay, that's to give it the crab cake flavor. Old Bay has salt in it, so keep that in mind when you're adding it. If you add too much salt and then you add the Old Bay, it can get really, really salty. 1 lemon. And I like to do just half a lemon. And this is for everyone out there. I'm rolling my lemon, all right? Rolling it to get more juice out of it. That's the one message I get the most out of everything on this channel. But I like to do half because then when we add our breadcrumbs, if we need any more moisture at all, we can add the other half of that lemon. Now I have a shallot, chop that up. You could use white onion, you could use regular Spanish onion. I like a shallot, it's a little bit more of a mild flavor. Some parsley, because that will really brighten it up, because we're going to be pan frying these. You have the breadcrumbs, we're going to add a little bit of egg, and the richness, this parsley will actually brighten it up along with the lemon. Now, here I have 1 beaten egg. Put that in. And our breadcrumbs. I go with just plain because we're adding all of our spices to this dish. I don't really need the flavors in the breadcrumbs. So we'll start out just a little bit here and start mixing. I also actually don't necessarily like to use panko for this because it's a harder, crispier breadcrumb. I kind of like the more fine, just regular breadcrumbs. Unfortunately, the panko is all I had. But the other ones soak up and kind of bind a little bit better. But that's okay, because once we get these made, our patties made, we're going to throw these in the fridge for no less than 20 minutes. And that helps them bind and hold their shape when we throw them into the pan. It also cools down our fish so that when we are searing the outside of our fish cakes, we're not going to overcook our fish. You want it to have almost a meatball consistency to where if you were to pinch it and stick it, it'll keep its shape. That's what we want. And that's why it's a little bit tough to give actual measurements to this, and it's why I go slow with the breadcrumbs, because you never know what a crab is going to yield unless you are buying per pound or per ounce. I just go by what we catch and by the head, so everything is really by sight. Sight and feel. All right. Oh, that bone snuck in there. I'm glad I felt that. Jordan, if you're watching, this one's for you. Jordan, every time he eats with me, gets the bone. I don't know why. But there you have it. That's our little fish cake, our mock crab cake. I can smell the Old Bay, I can smell the mustard, I can smell everything. A little bit of Worcestershire. These are going to be absolutely, absolutely amazing. So I'm going to make a couple about that size, and then I'm going to throw them in the fridge, and then we'll pan fry them. So while the fish cakes are setting up in the fridge, we're gonna make a spicy tartar sauce to put on top. And that's one thing. We're making breakfast today, me, Aaron, and Madeline. And I know Aaron's a sauce guy, so if I don't have sauce, I might as well just not even have anything. That was mayo. I have gochujang, which is spicy Korean paste, which you could use sriracha, you could use hot sauce, anything will work, but this has a little bit of sweetness to it, and that's why I want to use this today. Some garlic salt, a little bit of lemon, Cornichon pickles. You could use any kind of pickle, but these also have a little bit of sweetness to them, and the reason why I'm going towards the sweetness is just because those fish cakes are going to be rich. So I want something to cut through a little bit. It was nice and chopped up. Then we have the other half of the shallot that went into our fish cakes. Okay. That is a beautiful color, thanks to that Korean chili paste. Now, give it a little taste. It's rich but salty, a little bit sweet, a little bit tangy. I'm gonna add a little bit more lemon to it, but that's really good. That is a perfect topping to those cakes. I forgot one very important component to our spicy tartar sauce, and that was when I tasted it, I was like, it needs a little more lemon. What it's actually missing is just a drop of white vinegar. That's gonna give it that tangy bite that it needs. And that's all it's gonna take, is that little bit of a capful, because I knew something was missing when I tasted it, and I had forgotten the vinegar. There it is. It's so funny that something can taste muted or muddy, and that one little ingredient, I mean, we hardly put a capful in, and now that absolutely explodes. All the other flavors come out, it marries everything together, and now it's well balanced. That is so much better. All right. Our fish cakes have rested in the fridge, and this is what I mean by setting up to where those breadcrumbs soaked up all of the moisture in there, and they're nice and firm and ready to go into the pan. So a little bit of olive oil in our pan. My olive oil is sinking to one side, so we got to talk to Aaron about straightening out the deck. And I got that on a medium-low heat, because I just want to brown these. I don't want to cook them through. One of the other things that I'm going to do is take them, no dip in egg wash or anything like that. We're just going to dip them in some breadcrumbs on the outside to add a little bit of crunch, and into our oil. All right, those are just about ready to flip, and ooh, look at that beautiful golden brown. Yes, that is what we were looking for. So one of the reasons that I do low heat also on these is because I want them to be able to heat through. Since we had them in the fridge and brought the temperature all the way down, I want them to be able to brown without burning, but still have the inside heated up. I don't want to have to throw them in the oven. I just want to be able to do it all from the pan from right here. And because this is our brunch, I'm going to put these on the plate and fry an egg and put that on top. These are looking gorgeous. And they're just about ready to come off. Check the underside. Oh, yes. You can smell all of that seasoning that we put in. It smells so good. Now, just gonna wipe out my pan a little bit here, and then we'll fry a couple of eggs. Then a little bit of our spicy tartar on the side. Some lemon. All right, our eggs are pretty much done. Ooh, that's one thing. Big shout out to Meeson for this carbon pan. It's basically non-stick. I mean, that speaks for itself. That's incredible. They hooked me up with knives in the pan. I'll put a link in the description, and with the code CLAMS, all capital letters, you guys can get 20% off. But carbon steel pans, it's lighter than a skillet, and it really is amazing. And the easiest, best way to season it is just by using it. How good does that look? All right, we're gonna head inside and eat. Here we go. Also, oh wait, before you even start, because I know you're gonna need it.
Uh-oh. Oh, more sauce.
More sauce.
You already know. Alright, I'm going cake first, so...
Alright. So we've made crab cakes together before, so I'm wondering how close they are. It's not as sweet as the crab cake, because obviously.
I can agree with that.
Did you try it with the tartar?
Not yet.
So the tartar is a little bit sweet, and I did that on purpose because I knew that the cakes wouldn't be.
It's really good though.
They're still moist. The fish holds so much moisture, and that head meat, you can't beat that head meat. It's just
It's not dry, it's not fishy.
So versatile.
It's really good.
It doesn't even need the egg.
No, it doesn't, honestly. This is going to require a nap. No, but seriously, it's not dry at all. There's no fishy taste. Still moist. The edge has a very nice crunch on it.
I wonder if people have been tricking us with crab cakes and just giving us fish.
Putting sugar in there.
All right, guys.
I'm going egg.
Ooh. I was nice too, and I messed up the yolk on this one. I gave you the good yolk. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. But yeah, I'm gonna be going to sleep after this.
This is a good brunch.
Oh my god.
All right, guys.
Sorry.
Thanks a lot for this episode. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the channel. It really helps a lot. I'm happy to be home. This is, you know, picking and choosing in New York. It's a lot easier down here. But I'll see you guys on the next one.